Coming up on this edition of Out of the Blue from Middle Tennessee State University, we chat with Provost Mark Burns about our academic programs, as well as the many changes he's witnessed both on campus and in the city of Murfreesboro. Carly Sutton from True Blue TV talks about our new Out of the Blue set here in the Center for Educational Media, a bright new look for Out of the Blue that was designed by an alumna and hand-built by the center staff. And we introduce you to Nick Duggar, a proud MTSU alum whose successful career in television and event productions led to his role as executive director of the Mid-South Emmy Awards. I'm Andrew Ottman, and this is Out of the Blue. Welcome to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman. Dr. Mark Burns is the Provost and Chief Academic Officer here at Middle Tennessee State University. He has the distinction of being the longest-serving academic chief among Tennessee's public universities, and he supports the more than 330 academic programs. Dr. Burns grew up here in Murfreesboro and joined our faculty in 1991, giving him great perspective on how both the university and the community have changed over the years. Dr. Burns, welcome back to the program.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
You know, it's been a while. Matter of fact, I was trying to recall, I think it was COVID.
It was. We did it via Zoom last time.
I know, but now we have a brand new set. You're our very first guest.
Looks great.
There you go. So let's start it off by answering the burning question. What is a provost and what do you do at the university? I think folks want to know.
Well, and they don't know because it's not a term that is used really at all outside academics these days. Provost is the leader of the academic mission. So the chief academic officer works with the deans and the chairs and the faculty ultimately to present the academic program to our students.
So let's talk about the whole academic enterprise because it's, obviously Middle Tennessee State University, you preside over the Division of Academic Affairs and is really the core mission that we do. How many faculty do you oversee and how many programs do they teach?
We've got about 950 full-time faculty and then depending on the term, 200, 300 part-time adjunct faculty. So it's a big operation and it requires a lot of folks because we've got more than 330 academic programs. We're a comprehensive university, so we don't have every single conceivable program, but we have a lot. And we want to offer those for our students who can come here and not have to travel somewhere else to study what they want to. And we're constantly adding. It's one of the things I love about this job and this university is we have the resources and the willingness to continuously look at our curriculum and see, well, where is there opportunities to grow and where do we think the job market is going to go? Because we're doing more than just preparing people for employment, but that's an important part of their experience here is getting ready for their life after college. And so we take that really seriously.
We just had a group of guests on campus and we were talking about how the mission of our university is to not only train you for the skills you need on your very first job, but the skills you're going to need in your second, third, maybe in your fifth job. Talk about why that's important for us to have people who are engaged thinkers and problem solvers.
Right now, of course, we're all interested in, fixated on AI and all the effects that is going to have. That's a great example of a technological change that is affecting the real world and including employment. How is that going to change people's jobs? And as the people who are training the future employees, well, all right, what do we need to do to make sure that they can adapt to that? So it's not only training them on the content area, that's important, and we do a good job of that, but we also have to train them for content that we don't know yet, that's not been invented yet. And that's when the skills that are more lasting or durable, critical thinking, communication, using good judgment, knowing how to talk to people, all of that is really important. And we want to set them up to figure out how they do their second job, third and fourth for their entire working career.
You talked about some of those unique majors and you talked about some of the investment we've made. I know we just got finished touring the Applied Engineering building with that group of folks and there was a whiz bang. Wow, holy cow. I can't believe MTSU has all these robots doing these amazing things right next door to the School of Concrete and Construction Management. You've been blessed with a lot of state-of-the-art academic facilities powering many of these great degree programs, right?
We have. I mean, I encourage people who've not been on campus in the last year or two to come visit and see the new applied engineering building, see the new concrete building, and the renovations that we're in the midst of doing on some of our historic buildings. So yeah, we've got great programs in every academic college. We're on the cutting edge. We've got cybersecurity in a couple of different colleges, actually. We're about to build a cybersecurity range to train students on how to deal with the threats that come, that's sort of the dark side of the internet.
Mm-hmm. So, I've seen the renderings for that. It looks like something you would see in NASA Mission Control, right?
Yeah, it'll be very high-tech, very sort of segregated, both physically and from an electronic standpoint, so that when we launch a mock attack,
cyber attack,
it doesn't, that's the whole point of this facility, so it doesn't escape out into the wild and, take down the internet.
But that's amazing stuff. That really is. That's, I've often marveled about just the variety, and you've already touched on this, the variety of programs and majors that we offer here. As provost, as the guy that makes sure that all these academic pieces and parts work as advertised and promised, that's really got to be an amazing thrill to see just the range of things that this campus offers for you as an administrator. Talk me through that.
We're doing our best to respond to what the students want and need, but also to anticipate what they don't know that they want or need, but they might need 5-10 years down the road. So that's not me figuring that out. Our programs are faculty driven. Now, we help in my office and in the dean's office and the chair's office, but it's really about the faculty who are the experts in their areas to have their finger on the pulse of what's going on in their disciplines and what do we need to be looking at down the road. I mean, it's a challenge because we have limited resources, and the job of provost is to deploy those resources in the most efficient way possible to drive the academic mission. So sometimes that involves cutting stuff that's not working as well anymore, or is not quite as relevant as it once was. It's a juggling act, but I don't know. I think we do a pretty good job at it.
I think you do a great job. And like you said, you've got to keep all those balls in the air and really decide where you're going to move next. You talked about students. You were a student here.
I was.
Talk about that opportunity to be part of the central leadership of the campus where you walked the halls as a student.
It just really been fortunate. I mean, my first job out of graduate school was at my undergrad alma mater, and that does not typically happen. So I was just blessed that happened. And then I've been here since 1991, and I've been fortunate to move into a variety of different jobs, winding up here as provost. So when I first came back in 91, there were a lot of my former professors still teaching, and so that was fun to get to interact with them in a different way. And up until a few years ago, there were still some on the faculty. So it's been great. I love the institution. I believe in our mission. Students are fantastic, and our employees are a dedicated bunch, and we're doing our best to serve those students.
Dr. Burns.
Thank you.
Provost and Chief Academic Officer of our university. Thanks for joining us on Out of the Blue.
Thanks, Andrew.
And we'll be right back.
We do it all. We do it all.
Hundreds of majors, an amazing campus, faculty mentors. You can find what you're looking for at Middle Tennessee State, the University of Opportunities. We do it all.
I'm Victoria from Lincoln County, Tennessee, where growing up with my grandparents, I learned what hard work really meant. For me, college wasn't a given. It was a leap, and I took it. At MTSU, I studied abroad twice, interned in DC, and got curious on what my future could look like. I found people who believed in me and helped me believe in myself. MTSU showed me what is possible. I'm Victoria, and I'm true blue.
I help people.
I create music.
I shape the future.
I am an entrepreneur.
I inspire people with more than words.
I ride forward.
The sky is not my limit.
Find
You're blue at MTSU.
The Jennings A. Jones College of Business at Middle Tennessee State University is the #1 producer of business talent in the greater Nashville area. Our nationally ranked programs and state-of-the-art facilities offer a world-class education at an affordable price. The exclusive partnership of Jones College with Dale Carnegie Training Worldwide equips our graduates with the soft skills they need to succeed. Jones College of Business. It delivers an education for the real world.
I am True Blue.
As a member of this diverse community,
I am a valuable contributor
to its progress and success.
I am engaged in the life of this community.
I'm a recipient
and a giver.
I am a listener and a speaker.
I am honest in word and deed.
I'm committed to reason, not violence.
I am a learner.
Now
and forever.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
True Blue.
Welcome back to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman here with Carly Sutton, our correspondent for True Blue TV. Hey, Carly.
Hey, Andrew.
So what's the story this time?
So I'm actually really glad that we're here in the studio because we are talking all about the Center for Educational Media. So I got a chance to talk with not only the designers, but the directors of the center and how we came to be with this brand new studio. At MTSU, supporting education goes well beyond the classroom. The Center for Educational Media connects educators across Tennessee through video production and professional learning, reaching students, teachers, and school leaders alike.
The Center for Educational Media in the College of Education is a program and a center dedicated to supporting the work of the College of Education, which of course is training teachers and practitioners to go into the community to serve people. And so we support that work through video production and through professional development. So the work that we produce here in the Center for Educational Media is viewed by a number of different populations. The primary population is working educators in Tennessee. What is so valuable and what we're proud of is that the work we produce is so valuable to our students because they have an opportunity to hear the voices of teachers doing the work they are training to do in the future.
And as that mission has grown, so is the space behind it. And this is where that growth really shows. The entirety of Studio A in the Center for Educational Media has been completely reworked, and it was built by teams right here out of MTSU. And turning that vision into a reality fell to the engineering team, tasked with reimagining and rebuilding the space from the ground up.
And so all this is built here on site, and the skill set that we have here is unsurpassed. One of the issues we had out of the design was the amount of real estate that this was going to take up. And in this, the only way to accomplish that was to make the walls and build them on a hinge. We made it a foldable set, so you can fold the walls in if you need access. And again, details matter. And in this instance, they matter a lot. I relied on my crew. And I can't say enough good things about them because they did such a fantastic job. We're very proud, and I think it's going to be a great asset to the university.
And while engineering brought the structure to life, production helped shape how the space would function day to day.
Our goal for a new set was to give something that we have options with. So not only for Out of the Blue, we also feel like it's going to be the sort of thing that many of the university folks will be able to use and hope that they do. The lighting board that we had could be considered an antique, and now we have state-of-the-art lighting and the board to support that. I am True Blue as far as my outlook on this university. It never ceases to amaze me, the opportunities, such a wide array of offerings here, especially here at the center. It's a hotbed of creativity.
So whether a show like Out of the Blue or a campus project or something different entirely, this space was built to adapt. And that flexibility really comes from how intentionally it was designed. And that design was led by an MTSU alumni, bringing a fresh perspective while still tying the space back to the university's identity.
I decided it should be neutral so that we could light it different colors, just to change it up in any way for whatever reason you guys are going to use it for. So it's not just what you see behind me right now. It can be pink and blue and green, and the colors go nicely on the gray. The logo was inspirational in a lot of it, but also keeping everybody in the middle and trying to make it a bigger space so that everybody fit in. You could do a lot of different things with it. It was a lot of fun meeting everybody and seeing how it was, because I wasn't in this industry when I went to school here.
From concept to construction, this studio was built by the people who know this campus best, many of them MTSU alumni, creating a space designed to serve the university community for years to come.
We are so thrilled, and we can't wait for Out of the Blue to be here and producing right from this beautiful space.
For MTSU, I'm Carly Sutton.
I'm Victoria from Lincoln County, Tennessee, where growing up with my grandparents, I learned what hard work really meant. For me, college wasn't a given. It was a leap, and I took it. At MTSU, I studied abroad twice, interned in DC, and got curious on what my future could look like. I found people who believed in me and helped me believe in myself. MTSU showed me what is possible. I'm Victoria, and I'm True Blue.
I help people.
I create music.
I shape the future.
I am an entrepreneur.
I inspire people with more than words.
I ride forward.
The sky is not my limit.
Find your blue at MTSU.
We do it all.
The stars come to Middle Tennessee State University, and students come here to become stars no matter what they pursue.
We do it all.
We're the only college of media and entertainment in the world, just outside the heart of Nashville.
We do it all.
Mic check, 1, 2, everybody listen. When you do it like this, ain't no competition. I'm talking B.I.G., VIP. Treat them like a front row seat and make them pay attention. If I shoot for the 3, then I ain't never missing. Cranking up the degrees like I was in the kitchen. Can't lose, got too much to prove. And when you do it all, it get too hard to do it.
Our curriculum and facilities are cutting edge, and our relationships with industry leaders give students an edge over the competition.
Check it out.
You can get real-world experience with degrees in recording industry, media arts, journalism and strategic media, and more. We're the Scott Borchetta College of Media and Entertainment at Middle Tennessee State University.
Welcome back to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman. Nick Duggar is a proud MTSU alum, and he is not shy about telling you how this university helped him find success in both television and event production. His passion for our university, especially for the Scott Borchetta College of Media and Entertainment, is front and center. And as executive director of the Mid-South Emmy Awards, he has helped MTSU students play a large role in its annual Emmy Awards telecast. Nick, it is great having you back on campus.
It is so nice to be here, and I admit it's been a little while.
It has been a minute, right?
It's shocking how much of this comes flooding back, and walking through the halls of the LRC, it's 1998 again, and I'm in here after hours when I probably shouldn't be playing with some of the TV gear, but all very happy memories.
Well, I tell you, the partnership we have between you and the Mid-South Emmys and MTSU has just really been remarkable in so many ways. It is a win-win, in a classic win-win sense. But before we get into the details of that, and there's a lot of talking here, you mentioned being a student here, and we were talking off camera that you had a great story to tell, connecting from 1996, and something about a call sheet board.
Yeah.
Tell us all about that.
Up in the MassCom building, I was a shiny new freshman here, just wide-eyed and excited. In one of the first weeks on campus of my freshman year, I would wander through the halls of the MassCom building, just trying to be around it. And there was a call board where people would post opportunities to work on shows. And weeks in, I see one that said, work at the Emmys. And I'm thinking to myself, the Emmys? The Emmys? They're recruiting MTSU students? So I put my name at the top of the list. It said, production assistant Brignolo, and I didn't know what that meant, but it was at the top of the list. Signed my name, went to my class, and thought about it, and came back after class, and I pulled it off the wall. And I crewed that call sheet with all of my friends. I took it upon myself to put together the Emmy.
You closed the sign-ups?
I just pulled it off the wall. I mean, the audacity. If some kid did that to one of my call sheets, but I did. I crewed that Emmys with all my buddies. And it's funny now, I look back at the program book from that 1990 show. It was 1997 was the show. It's all my best friends from MTSU and all the crew positions. That began almost a 30-year opportunity with this organization that celebrates the best of what we do, the best in editing and the best in shooting and the best in lighting. That Brignolo, who I didn't know, was Geneva Brignolo, who was our chapter's executive director for 30 years.
Wow.
And previous to that, she was a hotshot producer in Nashville, working with a company called Diamond P Sports through the 70s and 80s, producing motorsports and content for TNN and the big networks. And then she took over the Emmy chapter. Well, I became her right hand and went on to be her intern, her board member, her board president ultimately. And unfortunately, about 3 years ago, Geneva passed away. After just a stellar career. We couldn't find a replacement. Nobody could fill those shoes, which were probably high heels. Nobody could fill those shoes. So as board president, I stepped up. I said, I'll give it a shot, thinking I have no idea what it means to be an executive director. But 2.5 years ago, stepped into that role, and it has been a perfect fit.
And it's been such a great opportunity for us. You were telling us that MTSU has really had a long history before you took this role connected with the Emmys. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, one of my projects when I took over the chapter 2 years ago was to work on our archive. We didn't have an online database of program books or these telecasts that we've been doing for 40 years. And I was thrilled to see in the first Mid-South Emmys, 40 years ago, Bob Gordon's name mentioned as a board member and a vice president. In the second annual Mid-South Emmys, I'm flipping through the book, and there's a whole full-page ad touting just MTSU grads that were doing amazing things in production. And through the last 40 years, this organization has been riddled with crew members, Emmy winners, recent graduates, current students winning student Emmys. The legacy of MTSU and the Emmy Awards in this region is 40 years long and only growing.
It's really incredible, and we were honored to walk away with an Emmy in 2024 for the commercial for our Scott Borchetta College of Media and Entertainment. We do it all. But we had students, thanks to you, that were actually doing the nuts and bolts of the video work of that presentation. So what was the impetus behind that? I mean, I'm going to put a lot of that on you because you saw the opportunity, said, I got to call my alma mater and make this happen.
Yeah, it was, I mean, looking back from that call sheet I pulled off the wall, MTSU has provided production assistance and in some cases key crew roles for the telecast. But our Emmy Awards is a 3-hour live TV show, full production truck, 6, 7, 8 cameras, jibs, moving lights. It's a real TV opportunity. Geneva, in her day, was pretty insistent on staffing it with professionals. Most everyone volunteered, get the TV family together once a year. But having been a student in that role, having used students in many of the roles for years, I knew that MTSU was capable to be the crew. So now we have current students running camera, running the switcher, doing audio, doing playback. It is a student crew. We sprinkle in professionals because we want that day to be a day of not only networking, but mentorship. So we might have a professional director calling the cameras, but the young lady this year running the switcher, not a single mistake on the air in a 3-hour show. The camera operators, 100% MTSU students. There is no reason why the students here and the caliber at which they work can't produce this telecast. We're 3 years into this relationship, and I hope it lasts for decades. It's what I would have wanted when I was a student decades ago, and when I see the look of pride and honor in these students, we roll the credits on the big jumbotrons at the end of the show, and I'm watching camera operators just in stunned silence seeing their name amongst the rest of those crew members. I get goosebumps every year, and I hope to do it for many years.
And it's a great experience, like you said, for them. It's great on their resumes.
Yep.
So Nick, how do students get connected to the Emmys? Not only applying for them, but also the opportunities to work as part of the show.
I mean, truthfully, the best way these days is come to MTSU and be in that truck class.
Right answer.
Second to that, we keep up with our social media. You can follow Mid-South Emmys on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We have a call for entries every year.
Now, speaking of TV people, we brag so much about the mobile production line. We call it the truck. And we're very proud of the truck. $2 million we've invested in this and state of the art. We use that for the Emmys show. But there was a truck before the truck.
There was indeed.
And that truck before the truck, you worked on as a student, right?
It's why I came here. You know, when I was working in television in high school, I didn't see the benefit of going to college personally. Mom and Dad had other plans, but when I found out Middle Tennessee State University had a production truck that students actually had access to, it wasn't just a showpiece to brag. Students were doing the work in this thing. I applied to one college and one college only. And luckily, my ACT score was just high enough to make it.
Got you in.
It's the only place I even applied, and I made a beeline to that truck the first day I was here. And I don't care if I was in a class or not. I drove the staff and faculty crazy. If that truck moved, I wanted to be on it.
Hey, I can't let you go, Nick, until I let you give some advice to prospective students. What does the Nick today wish he could have told the Nick back then that took the sign-up sheet down?
Man, I think this industry, it's taken over our world, whether it's TikTok or YouTube or the news or documentaries or Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hollywood movies. There is more production in our world today than ever in history. And I feel like there are hundreds of opportunities for students that want to run a camera, direct, build graphics, do motion design work. The key is starting as soon as possible. Do the work now. In the very studio we're sitting in, I used to do a student newscast 3 and 4 times a week, and I was awful, but I got my mistakes out of the way here. This is where I put the boots on the ground and learned how to mix audio and learned how to do graphics and learned how to run camera. Make your mistakes, get those out of the way, so when you do make it here to school, or even better, when you graduate from here, you've got all those kinks worked out and you're ready to get to work as a professional. Start now. The sooner the better. And the facilities and resources here, second to none. That truck that's out there now, the fact that students still have access to that. If I were a senior in high school today, I would apply to one place to go to college for the resources here on this campus.
Well, thank goodness you applied to this campus, and we had the foresight to get you inside here.
Absolutely.
Super alum Nick Duggar, thank you for everything you've done for your alma mater and all the experiences you're continuing to offer to our students. We really appreciate it.
Here's to many more years. Looking forward to it.
All right, we're going to take you up on that.
Sounds good.
And this does wrap up this edition of Out of the Blue. A reminder, you can find news about the campus 24 hours a day by going to our website, mtsunews.com. You can also find additional special content on our social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Broadcasting from the Center for Educational Media via True Blue TV, which is available on apps and streaming services. I'm Andrew Oppmann. Stay safe, stay on course, and remain True Blue.